Hey everybody, Jason Ostrander here with Simply Youth Ministry, and we're here with Bundy, a good friend of mine and also a very accomplished fingerstyle guitar player. We've come over here to interview him and watch him play and listen to him play, and he's been gracious enough to invite us into his own home studio. So this is the Bundy residence, and we're going to go check it out. Thanks, Trace.
Sounds good, yeah,
Appreciate
come on
it.
in.
All right, let's go.
Cool. Started kind of playing guitar just in a normal style, you know, plucking over here, playing up here, and I have a pretty terrible singing voice, in my opinion, and so I think that ended up being a good thing for me. You know, sometimes a curse is really a blessing in disguise, you know, and because I put all my energy into just playing, and it started with. Once I kind of started getting the more unique stuff, I remember literally I was sitting on the bed, I think in my dorm room or something, and I started just playing this really simple riff with one hand, like this. And it was like this light bulb moment of like, wow, I'm playing like a melody and this, I'm not even using this hand. And I remember going like this. I was like, that's kind of cool. I was like, hey, that's cool too. And it just like started thinking like, wow, if I can play with one hand, that opens up my other hand to do, you know, percussion or harmonics, you know, and stuff like that. So I kind of just started thinking like outside the box a lot, and thinking like, how can I kind of break the rules of guitar playing and music, yet still have it sound good, have it, you know, have fun with it, look cool. And a capo, a normal one, just clamps down all of the strings. So if you're in the key, in this case, I'm in an alternate tuning. I'm in the key of D here. If I put it on here, it's now an E. It gets higher, F, G, and you can imagine as you keep going up, it gets higher and higher and higher, and transposes your song into a higher key. It's great for if you're in a worship band and everyone's like, this is too low, can we just take it up you know, a step, and then okay. So what I've done is each of these capos I've customized, and so like this black one here, I cut a big hole in it, so when you put it on the guitar you can play behind it, and then so I could put a second capo on here. I'll show you an example. So this is a little short one that I kind of cut the end off with. I kind of keep it here for good access. This one is cool because you can use it on the top. It covers the 4 middle strings. You flip it upside down, it covers 3 strings. So stick that there, and then now you can do stuff like this where becoming a full-time musician, I actually studied engineering, civil engineering, and taught it for a couple of years after grad school. And so I think there's a lot of maybe like a little bit of the mathematics through that process, you know, have worked their way into the way I, you know, see a guitar or see music sometimes a little bit, and then maybe the engineering, kind of like basically I'm engineering these capos to cut holes in them, and so they cover different strings. And then even the teaching piece, like before each song, I often, you know, like a teaching side of me comes out when I'm even, you know, explaining the song or explaining some techniques or telling a story. And so I think like even though engineering seems like such a different path, I think that actually helped shape a little bit of what I do. My wife grew up in Central America. She grew up in Costa Rica as a missionary kid. I'd say as a family, we've had a huge heart for people in poverty. And when I say poverty, I don't mean like just a physical poverty, emotional poverty, relational poverty, poverty within your families, and just basically broken people. And I do have a huge heart for broken people, and I think Jesus had a huge heart for broken people. And so, you know, there's organizations that I love to team up with to help support. Even like my album Missile Bell, was the whole theme of Missile Bell was about a church in El Salvador that had been destroyed during their civil war, and they took a missile, one of the missiles that had destroyed their village. They took that exact missile and hoisted it up and turned it into their church bell as a symbol of turning something broken and destructive into something beautiful and life-giving, like a bell, you know. And so those kind of stories of redemption, of brokenness becoming whole, are definitely something that I would say that's what I have a heart for.